Hey, how's it going, guys? Well, it's been about quite a few months, quite a couple hours, and about 500 miles of saddle time on my Monster Cross gravel bike, adventure bike setup, whatever you want to call it. And so today we're going to talk about some other stuff I run on it. And this is the review on the Schwalbe G1 Speeds, which I've been running on this bike. So I've got a 29 by 2.35 in the front and a 27.5 by 2.35 in the back. Both of them are Lite speed casings. I did not weigh them when I got them because I was just excited and I put them on. But the claimed weight for the front tire is like 440 grams and the back is about the same, like 440 or something. I'm still running tubes in these tires and I'm running finish line sealant in these tubes. I'm running 28 psi in the front and 32 in the back, and it's pretty good. The amount of support I get from having the tubes in there and running pressures like that low is pretty great. I think if I went full on tubeless, I could run higher pressures and probably get a more supple ear, is that even a word, ride out of these tires. But so far I've been pretty darn happy. So, 500 miles of dirt, rocks, road, Oakland roads with broken glass and beer bottles, you name it, man. I put this bike to a lot of abuse. It's pretty safe to say that I've abused these tires way beyond their intended use at this point. I mean, you guys have seen my other videos of what I do with this bike, and you can make up your mind if I've abused these or not. So, yeah. What do I think of these tires? Well, this is my do-it-all bike, right? So it's got to handle the road stuff as well as it handles the dirt. On the road, these tires roll ridiculously fast. It takes absolutely no effort to maintain your speed whatsoever. So if you do find yourself in a situation where you have to keep up with some roadies, you're actually going to be okay on these tires despite the high volume it's got, which is pretty darn cool. They grip pretty darn amazing on the road and the corners as well. And yeah, it's probably because of the volume of the tires compared to what roadies normally run, which are, I don't know, what, 28 mil tires maybe? So there's that. On the dirt, I've gone through a wide range of terrain from rocks, roots, dirt, mud, loam, and it's actually not bad. It does decently in the dirt. It's actually pretty good when you're riding hardpack because, well, hardpack's kind of like road, but like dust over hardpack, like what we normally get out of our regular California weather out here, it's pretty decent. On the rocks, it grips. On the roots, it grips too, which is pretty darn rad. The only times where the tire starts to get a little unpredictable is when you start to see the dirt going from this nice bright color and it turns a little darker when it's nice and loamy, or what people call hero dirt, where your DHR2s and your acid guys and your DHFs will just like hook in and just like grip like glue. Anytime you see something like that, these kind of become a little bit more unpredictable. They kind of just hydroplane skate over the top a tiny bit. When you see shiny dirt, any hint of water or mud, it becomes pretty darn unpredictable. Well, it doesn't have knobs, right? It will just give without any notice. So that's something to be aware of. In the rocks, though, it actually deals pretty well, and it does so as well in the roots. When the roots are wet, I mean, it's just like any tire, it will give. When the rocks are wet, just like any tire, it will give as well. But it's actually not too bad a tire in the dirt, considering that, you know, this is my do-it-all bike. It has to do road, it has to do dirt, and it has to be able to handle the gnar stuff to some degree when I get bored of the road. Alright, now, how tough are they? Well, as you can see on this tire, there are a bunch of cuts into the tire on the thread. Long, straight cuts. They look like someone just took a knife and just went voop, voop, voop with the X-Acto knife. But it's still holding it pretty well. There's only been one instance, especially in the back, where the cuts kind of like, by a stroke of luck, the cuts kind of met and it peeled the thread off the carcass, off the casing. I kind of just used the rubber cement that comes on your 2 patch kits and just glued it back on there and just kept riding it. And it holds, for the most part, it still works. It holds. Every once in a while, it will peel off again and I'll just glue it back on there. I'm cheap. Hey, I'll just run something till it dies. But yeah, I've had to re-glue that one small little patch twice at this point. But aside from that, it's actually not too bad. I can't tell you how well it runs tubeless at this point because I have not run it tubeless, but I don't see it being a problem of it sealing. But yeah, overall I am pretty darn impressed with this do-it-all tire. Now, if you do want something a little bit more aggressive than the speed version here, which runs these file micro knobby thingies, they do make the all-round version, which is essentially the same knobs, just a little bit bigger. You could go for that if you do more gravel than road. I just chose to run this setup just because, yeah. But anyways, that's what I think of this tire. Let me know what you guys think. Your thoughts on the tire, your experiences. What do you run in your monster cross or gravel bike? And yeah, don't forget to click here to subscribe. Click here for a video of me doing some dumb thing on this bike, maybe another dumb thing on this bike. Click here for something else. Once again, thanks for watching to the Mr. Percussive channel. I'll see y'all on the trails. Later.